Oh, it's so good to work with you. Don't go anywhere because Guy is up next.
All right, thank you, ladies. Hi, everybody. Yes, my name is Guy. I'll be here with you for the next couple of hours. In this first hour, we're going to focus just on being prepared in an emergency. Obviously, with Florence and everything that's been going on in the weather over the past few weeks and continues to occur, we felt it was really, really important that we get you on board with having a backup kit. In this case, we're talking about food. You get your water. Obviously, you know it's good to put gallons of water aside because with all the floods and everything and the water supply being short, you need to do that. But in addition to that, excuse me, in addition to that, you really need to make sure that if it's a storm or if it's a power outage or if it's an emergency, that you are fully prepared and that you have a backup. And I'm talking, like I said, water, batteries, all that stuff, but you're also gonna need food. In this case, a lot of food, and it's gonna take care of all the needs of you and your family. It comes to us from a company called Wise. Wise has been here for many years with us, supplying all of our friends out there with great, great meals, delicious, healthy, nutritious meals. In this case, we are giving you the jumbo bucket. This is enough food to support a family of 4 for an entire week. And sometimes that's what you need. When you think about it, power goes out and it's down for 5 or 6 or 7 days, and you can't heat anything up because all the food that you see here, you can consume dry, or you can add water to it. It doesn't even have to be hot water. It can be room temperature water, cold water, water right out of one of the bottles that you've saved, and you will have the ability to feed your family. And it's not just feed them. They really enjoy the food because it's the preparation of it, in addition to being simple, is gourmet. They spend a lot of time making the food very, very tasty and very delicious and very nutritious, because it shouldn't just be, you know, listen, we got to lump it while the power's out. We should be able to not just survive, we should be able to thrive. What we're offering today at a ridiculous price, at $60 off our regular price, is the 160 serving packet. That's 160 servings of food for you and your family. 84 servings of breakfast and entrees, 32 dessert, fruits and vegetables, and 44 beverages as well. As I said, 1 adult for 28 days, or a full family for a whole week. And it really, really, and not only just that, if you're a camper, boater, fisherman, you can have the food then as well. My good friend Stephanie Roberts is here with us.
Hello.
I love having this bucket in my house, and I'll tell you why. Because I know even though I may not eat it today, tomorrow, 3 years from now, 5 years, actually I get how many years on this?
25.
25 years this will last, and it's really about the technology and how they package it, and it's all dehydrated, freeze-dried food, so it's all perfectly good, and it will last you years and years, although usually it doesn't, because people take a taste of it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is really good. But you know, and obviously, you know, we've been dealing with a lot of stuff lately with the storms. And I think a lot of people think they're okay and it's not gonna happen to me, but it happens. I think it probably happens to everybody out there, probably has a time where their power has been out for a day or two. I'd say in my life, it's happened 5 or 6 times where the power's been out a week.
Right.
You know, and you're stuck with nothing.
Well, and it kind of gets to the why risk it, you know, and that's what preparedness is all about. September is actually National Preparedness Month. So, you know, our timing is great with this in that this is when we want to help you just kind of cover the what ifs of life. And, you know, you see the things that happened over the weekend with Florence and the flooding, and you realize that, hey, there are times when we can't get out and get things we need, and food is always something we are gonna need. So let's talk a little bit about Wise Company, because what they bring us is truly unique. I know you heard the words emergency food and probably thought, oh, gross, okay, I know I'll have to eat, but it's not gonna be good. Erase that. This is good. Wise prides itself on entrees that taste like they're supposed to. Great tasting meals with the right textures and the spices and, you know, just a variety of different meals, whether it's cheesy mac or teriyaki rice or Southwest rice and beans. This is not bland, tasteless food. This is great tasting food, because Wise actually starts at the very beginning in the factory with people doing it right. So the first people they employ are chefs. These are chef-written and inspired recipes so that they taste and are spiced exactly like you would expect them to be. So the flavor is there. That is really the first thing that sets Wise apart. But the second thing that sets Wise apart is how they package it. Because it's one thing to have great flavors, but if it's not there when you need it, or it's gone bad, or it only lasts for a year or two, that's not really preparedness. Because here's the deal, I don't want to take every single year from scratch in May or September or whenever it is and have to go get food. It's bad enough we have to go get batteries, you gotta get water, there's other stuff you gotta do. So food doesn't have to be done year after year after year if you do it right the first time. So Wise has made this pouch. It's called a modified atmospheric pouch. And I know that sounds kind of strange. You're like, what's that mean to me? This seals out humidity. This seals out oxygen. This seals out things that makes food go bad. And when it's in this pouch made by the Wise company, it's there for you for up to 25 years. Seriously, the great tasting food, all those spices, and we'll talk about the taste and the texture and do some sampling. But once you have it in this pouch, Wise has made it so that it'll be whenever you need it for up to 25 years. Your only job, keep it in a cool, dry place. So everything we're talking about, the values, the flavors, all that, it's one and done for 25 years.
Don't you love having a whole hour today to talk about this? Because normally we have to jam this in like 15 minutes, and it's kind of hard to reach out to people and be like, listen, you really need to have this, you know, without trying to shove it down your throat, literally. We want you to understand that this is important. And you know what? We're not telling you that you need to dig a storm cellar. We're not telling you that you need to do this or that or the other. What we're saying is, listen, the least you can do is have food in case something happens. And I can remember Hurricane Belle years and years and years ago, where people were actually on the Post Road in Fairfield, Connecticut. People were on rowboats in 6-foot deep water. Nothing was open. There was no way to get food. We were going through whatever cans we had left.
Absolutely.
And there's no variety. Think about that. And then my dad became very smart about that. He had gallons of water put away. He used to use old school camping food. He'd have bags of that in like his little Foot Locker. In case something happened. Hey, listen, we hope you never have to get in that position, but with this, you're not roughing it. This food is delicious. We get people that buy this that love to go camping, that like to have delicious side dishes or main entrees.
Absolutely.
But by the way, we're gonna do the veggies and protein and all that stuff later, so we can add meat to all these dishes. But one of the things that I can't emphasize enough is you gotta feed your family, and you gotta give them good, honest, healthy calories, and that's what we're doing here. And we're doing it with a variety of things. And the preparation, as we said, look at what Stephanie's doing here. And by the way, and I'll just give you a piece of advice. If you can find one of these little camp stoves or one of our wonderful little induction cookers, and you can get them with us or you can get them online. It's a great idea, especially if you get one that's gas, because this is plugging in. If you get one that's gas, like the one I have, you can, like it's a regular little camp stove, you can make food in any power outage. So that's a good idea too, but you don't need to have heat.
You don't, and let's talk about how the food is made. Did you see what I just did? I literally took a pouch and added water.
Dumped it in.
That's it. You can add water right into the pouch if you want, but this food requires nothing other than to turn into a great tasting meal other than water. Now, you see that our pots are sitting on burners. As Guy mentioned, you know everything tastes better hot, let's be real. However, you do not need hot water. You could use cold water, you can use tap water, you can use water that you've set aside in buckets. As long as the water is safe to drink, it will work with Wise Foods, and it will go from the powder to the great tasting meal simply by adding water. So we have our water on burners because it goes a little more quickly when you use warm water. So we're gonna speed things up a little bit. This will take about 5 minutes. With warm water, honestly, stone cold water in 10 minutes. You end up with meals that look like this. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what you're getting and the offer today, because honestly, this is not something we do all the time. This is because September is National Preparedness Month. Wise has put together this great offer in what we call our grab and go bucket. So it is coming to you essentially just like this. I love the fact that shipping and handling are free, because honestly, it weighs a fair amount. It's a lot of food, you know.
It's a ton of food.
It is a ton of food. The bucket itself is sturdy as can be. You can see it will come packed with all of those different pouches.
And pretty much waterproof. I mean, or water resistant.
It is waterproof. It is bug proof. It is, I stand on mine as a step stool in the garage because I need it sometimes, and it's that sturdy. So there is no problem with this. Now, when it comes time to why it's packed like this, the images from the weekend in North Carolina, and sadly on the way probably in South Carolina, there are times you have to go, and flooding is one of them. You know, you run from water, you hide from wind. If you're in a situation where you have to leave your home, you're still gonna have to eat. You know, and if you're taking a family on the road, I have many friends in North Carolina who've kind of been camping out at hotels and friends' houses for the last week. You know, you're either spending a lot of money on food, you're either constantly trying to scrape it together in drive-thrus. The bottom line is, no matter what the situation is, you have to feed your family. This makes it simple and economical. When you do the quick math of the less than $90 for 160 servings, that's like 50 cents a serving.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and the price we're doing today is Price Break. We know it's a little bit later in the storm season, but it's not getting later in the winter storm. That hasn't even started yet. And if you get blizzards, I was talking about the Hurricane Belle, which flooded the roads, but we had one time where we got 3.5 feet of snow. We couldn't even open the doors to our house to get out anywhere. They didn't plow the roads in all the neighborhoods for up to 5 days before they got there. You couldn't leave your house. So this is a way to enjoy food. And you see how it thickens up already.
Yep, already.
Let me really quickly tell you what you're gonna get as far as what's in the box. And Stephanie can go through it with me.
Yep.
We're gonna put it up on the screen and it kind of breaks it down. And then we're gonna taste all the food and show you how delicious it is, because I've got my forks on the ready here. So 160 total servings. Go ahead, Stephanie.
All right, so it breaks down to 10, let's call them lunch and dinner entrees, if you will. Hearty, real foods. You are looking at cheesy pasta vegetable rotini, savory stroganoff, cheesy mac, hearty tortilla soup, pasta Alfredo, and chicken noodle soup. Southwest rice and beans, teriyaki rice, loaded baked potato, rice pilaf. So those are kind of our main entrees. Then we've added vegetables. There's freeze-dried corn. This is brand new in this configuration. For the very first time, powdered eggs are in this set. And we get a lot of requests for powdered eggs. They're a great source of protein, so they will be there for you in this bucket. Now, we've added desserts, chocolate pudding, yogurt, fruit, freeze-dried strawberries. Then a good breakfast cereal, brown sugar and maple is a nice multi-grain cereal, plus the ability to make Orange Delight, a nice pitcher, and 2 pitchers of whey milk. So when we say comprehensive, I love the fact that Wise has been so careful about putting together something that kind of is palate pleasing for everybody.
Right.
You know, I've got kids, they're picky. They're gonna love rice pilaf because it's got that great chicken broth base.
Yeah.
It tastes amazing. You can see the herbs in it, but it's pretty mild tasting. Me, I like a little more variety in my life. So Southwest rice and beans, one of my personal favorites. The teriyaki rice. But there's the mellow foods, the mac and cheese, something a little more comforting, the creamy pasta rotini, and then that is the stroganoff, which I'm a big fan of. So there's something for everybody. They put fruits in because here's the thing. Again, using North Carolina as an example, I've heard basically the state is closed, right? They don't, the roads, nobody should be coming in.
Right.
Don't get out, just hunker down. If you've already evacuated, stay out. So that means the food trucks aren't getting in. That means the fruits aren't coming, the veggies aren't coming, the meats aren't coming. So Wise has put this together to include veggies, to include fruits, to include whey milk, because you're not gonna be able to replace the gallon of milk in your fridge, so the kids aren't gonna have the sippy cups at night that they're used to.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're gonna put our testimonial line up. We'd love to hear from you because we have so many people that have taken advantage of the offers from Wise before in different configurations. To me, this is a great one. This is really the best of the best because you got your full family of 4 for a week. And hopefully you won't have to deal with it any more than that, but at least you'll be able to take care of your family for 1 week. There's our phone number down there, 866-376-8255. If you own it, or even if you just have it stored, I want to hear about the peace of mind that it gives you, because I think it's really important that we know we're taken care of. And like I said, you don't have to have a storm cellar with, you know, with 6 months of supplies down there. There are people that do that, and that's, you know, they just feel more comfortable doing that for whatever reasons. But you should at least have at least a few days worth of food. And we're giving you a whole week here. So depending on the size of your family, breaking down the price one more time. It's $89.95. It's normally $149, so it's $60 off on Price Break. And it's $17.99 on FlexPay. If you don't know what FlexPay is, you just make one payment. We'll send you out this great big bucket. And whether you put it away, whether you take some out and try it, whether you put some in your backpack for camping or for just snacks, because remember, all this stuff is freeze-dried, which means you can eat it even dry if you have to, right?
Oh,
with a glass of water, whatever. If you're on the road or whatever it is, you'll have food here. But it is really, really important that you take that step. You can't find this configuration anywhere else. It's exclusive here at HSN. And like I said, the variety is crazy. We're going to be offering a lot of other things too. We're going to be inviting talking about extra vegetables and fruits. We're going to be talking about extra proteins that you can add with this. So we actually have dehydrated meats that you can put, and they're delicious, that we're going to add into that. We're going to walk over to that in just a sec. But continuing on with it, Stephanie, you know, it's one of those things. A lot of people think out of sight, out of mind, but what we've just learned with Florence and what we've learned year after year, I mean, it always seems to be somewhere there's some kind of an emergency.
Absolutely.
Is that the smart people out there, they prepare. And I'm not talking about, like I said, a month and a half of food or 2 months or 6 months. I'm talking about just taking care of your immediate needs of your family for a week. And this is our severe weather map. Is this right now? I guess
this is from last year.
This is from last year.
So here's the thing. Did we learn from 2017? I mean, obviously tons of major events happening all throughout the country. But what I want to ask you is, you know, you saw the images from Harvey, you saw the images from Irma, Maria, all those things, power outages for days, if not weeks. And it's sobering for all of us. But did you prepare better? Did you do anything different this year because of the things that happened last year? You know, we know that there's folks that don't have their basic needs being met right now in North and South Carolina. To avoid that being your family, this is why Wise Foods is here. You know, it's so simple when you can just bring home a bucket of food and put it somewhere. Put it on the top shelf of your pantry. I honestly keep mine under my bed. I take it out of the bucket and I put it in under the bed box. That's just where I have space. The only requirement is you keep it in a cool, dry place because we want it to last for the 25 years. You know, when we look at the things, Wise Foods been here with HSN for 4 years now. Right. I love the partnership because if you go to the Wise website, in fact, go there. I want you to see this. Yeah. Check out what it is for 80 servings, 100 servings. Honestly, it's like twice the price. Yeah. This is not cheap to prepare. This is high quality food. These are real vegetables, you know, real grains, real meats. And then the packaging and the technology, hey, this stuff costs money, let's be real. But Wise wants our HSN customers to be safe, to be ready, and to be okay. So they have been able to put together these deals where suddenly you're getting 160 servings for 90 bucks. Right. And you're not paying what you'd pay on their website.
No, and you're still getting all the health and nutrition. And you have to realize as well, because the food is dehydrated and you're adding water, it is also essentially pretty low in fat.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, which is, I mean, you don't want to skimp out on your essential fats when you're not eating much, but it's not like, you know, these aren't filled with butter and oil and grease. They're not, because you can't dehydrate that in the way that you can this. They're more dehydrated in their natural state without any extra stuff put into them because they need to be dry. And then when you add the liquid, you'll see, because even like if I read the back, if you look at like the creamy vegetable pasta, 4 grams of fat per serving.
Absolutely.
That's nothing compared to regular macaroni and cheese has about 18 grams of fat per serving.
That was right here in front of us, you know, and that's what I'm saying, that these are real meals.
That's my favorite one.
Me too. Here's the carrots, here's the peas, here's the pasta, here's the herbs. You know, it is all right here. And this is a question I do get asked a fair amount. You know, are those, you know, are they carb boosted meals, you know, designed to keep you full? No, these are the same meals
that
cold and
you would
make.
And it's good.
Yeah, no, well, all truth, you are having to eat the room temperature ones.
I don't, and it doesn't, it just tastes.
And that's okay.
No, it tastes really good.
It tastes like it's supposed to. We all recognize that the teriyaki rice that I put on the burner here is going to taste better. This is one of my favorites because it'll be warm. But in an emergency, if you are not able to heat your water, if you don't have the gas burner or whatever, it's okay. This food will work. If you are hunkered down in a hotel and all you can do is pour warm tap water out of the sink, do it. Do it. And it's going to turn into a meal not only that will keep you full, but that's going to taste good. You know, the Federal Emergency Management Agency literally says, no questions asked, you should have 3 days of food per person in your household. Hey, it's a Monday morning, right? My kids have been eating me out of house and home all weekend. If I were to turn into my pantry right now and say, 3 days worth of food, and you know, not just food to get by, let's try for decent tasting food. Do you have it? You know, do you have anything more than cans of tuna and the peanut butter jar that might be half gone? Are you prepared if something were to happen right now today where that you could not go to the grocery for 3 days or a week? And oh, by the way, the fridge food doesn't count because let's assume the power's out. The freezer food doesn't count because you can't cook that food. You need food in the pantry. So this isn't just food to get by with. These are meals. This is Southwest rice and beans with big, huge pieces of corn and beans, a mix of carbs and protein. And here's why I like this one so much. It's got some kick, right? It's
yeah,
Southwest.
It's got a little zest going on
It's supposed to have a little zest.
Very
now,
zesty.
if you have more, you know, calmer, quieter palates in your household and they like things more mellow, then you'll love the cheesy mac. You know, and oh, by the way, this doesn't have that massive list of chemicals like the stuff that comes in the blue cups. You know, and
no, because all that stuff doesn't dehydrate well, and so you have to stay to a more natural process when you are going into that, and that's one of the things these guys specialize in. Remember, 160 servings. $60 off. You can't find this price anywhere else. It's just here. Even if you go on Wise's website, FlexPay is $17.99. I mean, it's less than $20. Is your family worth less than $20 to you? I mean, I know I hate to throw that fear into people, but that's what it's all about. Sorry.
You gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
So, and you'll be the one to be thanking me and Stephanie when you know when the storm comes and you're like, at least I know we have a backup. At least I know if the kids want mac and cheese and I don't have any and I can't get to the store, I've got enough of them to eat right here. And again, if you look at the configuration, it is a huge, huge configuration that comes inside that bucket. Should we shift over because there's more stuff that we've got there? I mean, we've got soups, we've got breakfast.
This all
we just showed a couple.
is in that bucket.
Look at this. So this is our, was our chicken noodle soup?
That's the chicken noodle soup, absolutely. In fact, we'll go ahead and make it fresh while you try it, room temperature. Here's one thing I want you to talk to me about. Talk to me about depth of flavor and talk to me about texture, okay? Because those are the things we worry about.
That's delicious.
Would you
cold.
ever known?
No.
See, here are my things. I'm a texture girl. It's like a 6-year-old, right?
You put protein in there too. You put, is that right?
It's in there.
The chicken's already in there.
Absolutely. You know what I did?
Going back in.
I took this and I added water. You know, there is no added chicken in there. It's already there. It comes in the pouch. You can see the chicken. You can see the carrots. You can see the celery. You know, this is literally a chef who made chicken noodle soup as it would be on a restaurant menu, and then through the technology, dehydrated and freeze-dried. Now, the thing about Wise is some foods dehydrate and hold their nutrition and texture better. Some foods freeze-dry and hold their texture and nutrition better. Wise figures out which does which and adjusts. That's my favorite.
Rice?
That's the teriyaki rice.
Never had this before.
This one's
really
new.
Good.
This tastes to me like anything from an Asian restaurant. Yeah. You would never know if you brought this home. And that is something else that we'd like to talk about. Bring this home. First of all, you have 30 days because it's our HSN policy. That'd be even better if it was warm. It would be better.
All this cold. Well, that's all right.
It's all right.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. When you're hungry, do you ever watch the shows like The Naked and Afraid and all that stuff? Guys are eating worms and rats and whatever. When you're hungry, you'll eat.
Well, exactly.
And I'm telling you, and this is not that. This is delicious, wonderful food. And my producer, Jared, just said we're getting very busy right now. A lot of you smart folks out there saying, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
Hey, listen, if I never use it, I never use it. I will guarantee you will use it. And I'll guarantee you will use it within the first year. And that's because you're going to be like, I want to try that teriyaki rice. What the heck? You know, and by the way, if you love it, we have it on auto ship, don't we, Jared? So if you want to get another bucket of this every 3 months, sign up for auto ship. You can cancel at any time, or you can adjust it to when you want it. Maybe you want it every 6 months, whatever. But just keep getting it. You know, we got a lot of people that are boaters and fishermen and campers.
Absolutely.
This is quality camping food. I mean, trust me, I bought camping food before. First of all, it's expensive as all heck.
Exactly.
A lot of it's not good.
No.
This
a lot
stuff,
of it's heavy.
Yeah, this, right. Really
just
carb heavy, rich, sugar, salt heavy.
Pumped up with other things.
These are great.
So here's the thing. We talk so much about this, obviously, for emergency, because especially on a day like today, we are talking about preparedness. But campers, hikers, heading out on the boat, you know, you can't carry fresh strawberries up the mountain, but you can carry our freeze-dried ones as part of this pack. It's such an amazing thing. The powdered eggs, for sure, constantly being asked about this, and anybody that camps and hunts and hikes and, is out recreationally knows about powdered eggs. We sell these separately, and we'll talk about that coming up. Every time we sell them separately in the egg bucket, they sell out. I mean, we can't keep them in stock. So I love the fact that for the very first time,
we've included it, right?
We put eggs in the bucket. So this is a resealable pouch, all right? It is the equivalent of 2 dozen eggs. And what you do is you simply scoop them out, use what you need, scramble them, throw them into the teriyaki rice, put some protein in it, and add some egg, whatever you use egg for, and you're good to go. But I didn't, you know, we all eat powdered eggs. We just don't realize it. Like when you go, I have kids that play sports, so we stay in hotels a lot. Only hotels with free breakfast, thank you, because they're growing boys. Sure. What do you think those eggs are? You know, they're these. They taste great. We use them all the time. I love that they're included.
They've come a long way with powdered eggs, that's for sure.
I also love the fact that you mentioned, you know, people do order this on auto ship. People do end up needing to restock. Sure. And hopefully, and I'm pretty sure, it's not because they've been through some major issue where they've had to use all their food. Bring this home and open it. Open up the chicken noodle soup. Open up the pasta Alfredo that I just made and try it. Don't tell your family, right? Just serve the soup. Just serve the pasta Alfredo. They're just gonna think you made it like you make everything else.
Yeah, they won't think twice.
They will have no idea that this is emergency food. And then you sit down and have the very important family conversation. Hey, I did something for us. I bought some food. We're gonna put it away. I want you to know it tastes great. So here we are. And here's the thing. It's there when we need it. Maybe you'll need it on a random Thursday night. Listen, as a working mom with 1 million kids that I need to feed, the emergency may be, I have the flu, I feel horrible, I can't get to the grocery store.
Make yourself some
But
pasta.
my family still needs to eat. That's an emergency, and that's why we have this food. It's whatever you need it for.
Desserts, and we go all the way down. We even have the milk, we have the orange drink. Let's go around the corner, because we want to show everybody. We have some extra things that we can offer for you. And this will help to jazz up whatever it is. Because if you're in there for a week and you're like, you know, I really would like some extra dehydrated fruits and veggies, and we'd like some protein, we offer these kits as well. And this is a choice of all those. We have the protein choice.
Yep, it's a supplemental thing.
Right. We also have the fruit choice, and then we have the vegetable choice.
Yep, let's talk
What do we
through
get
this.
in these, Steph?
Okay, so the fruits typically are our most popular, and I know lots and lots of people who order these all the time. Oh, they're so good. These are the real deal, right? These are dehydrated and freeze-dried fruits. So bananas, which somebody I always said, my gosh, that tastes just like a banana.
Good.
Because it is. Yeah, I love the strawberries and the peaches. Peaches and apples. So 4 different types of fruits, freeze-dried and here for you whenever you need them. Now, here's the deal. Freeze-dried fruits at the big box stores, because I buy them sometimes for snacking, peaches. Yeah. They cost a fortune, you know, and they don't have a big, long shelf life. These come with the same packaging, the same factory 25-year shelf drive in a cool, dry place. And oh, by the way, it comes with vanilla pudding as well, which is absolutely amazing. So if you choose the fruit kit, these are the things that are contained in them. Here's the thing I do. You can't take fruits everywhere you go, right? I mean, there's no way I'm sending, you know, strawberries hiking with the kids or bananas constantly mushy. If you want access to fresh fruit at all times, whether it's school lunches, whether it's snacks, whether it's hiking, whether it's weekends away, this is how you do it. I travel a lot. I miss fresh fruits and vegetables because it's hard to eat on the go. This is what I take with me, so I'm still getting it.
And you can see all the bags that you get in this kit. There's a lot of fruits in here. I'd buy 10 of these dang things.
And I'll tell you what happens. You start eating those peaches,
I would eat those every day.
You eat those right down.
I'd be ordering that on auto ship just to get it home. All this is available on auto ship as well. So let's talk about protein.
Okay, I really love this for kind of beefing up, if you will, the other meals that come in the bucket. This comes with different flavors of chicken and beef. Look at that chicken. That is absolutely gorgeous quality meat. I love the fact that we are able to offer meat like this, because right now, if you aren't getting food trucks into your stores, you are not getting fresh meat like this, and protein is so important. So it comes with rice as well. So you can have just the meat and the rice and some sauces, and you're good to go. So these could be a very, very simple stand-alone meal. What I like to do is, because I feed a whole bunch of teenage boys, I add chicken to the other meals in the Wise Foods grab-and-go bucket. Because when you add protein, rather than 4 servings, suddenly I can get 6 or 8 out of it. because they're bigger servings and you're filling more people up. So if you have a big family, if you have big eaters, or if you just want the bare basics for food, for survival, that's what this is. You know, it's
mix and match,
not all the great flavors that you get with the others, but at least it's carbs, it's protein, it will keep you full. And then the veggies are awesome. So the veggies come freeze-dried just like this. I mean, you can literally eat them dry in your hand for a quick carb and you're totally good to go. I know a lot of the hikers carry these for energy. However, you can also rehydrate them, reconstitute them, they're freeze-dried, and end up with a great side dish. So there's broccoli, there's corn, there's beans, there's peas, and they also come with sauces, which just makes me laugh because I can see fighting with my kids about eating a vegetable in the middle of some natural disaster. But now we have cheese sauce, it'll be okay.
It just tastes like a green bean.
It is a green bean. Of course it tastes like a green bean.
That's crazy. It takes a sec, it gets in there, your mouth gets it wet.
Because you have to rehydrate it. So you're using your mouth to rehydrate. You can use water to rehydrate. Really good. It's a green bean. And here's the thing, if you're not familiar with the process of freeze drying and dehydrating, they take the fruits and the vegetables at the peak of freshness and either flash freeze them or dehydrate them. So you're getting, honestly, sometimes a better quality vegetable like this than you get if it's out of season at the store.
And not a bunch of additives and all that other stuff that you need. Just exactly what you want. We're going to get back to that in a little bit and we'll offer it again, but let's go back and talk about what we've got available. First of all, we know what's going on out there and often associated with hurricanes or things like tornadoes, flooding, damage everywhere. And, you know, obviously this is catastrophic that you're looking at there. But think about it, if you had nowhere to go, you had no food, you know, maybe half your house is left or whatever it is, or maybe you're just out of power and your house withstood the storm and you just need something to eat. There's a reason why when you see these terrible natural disasters that the biggest thing is trucks bringing food and water. Absolutely. That's really what it's all about, potable water, food, you know, things to help you get through. You got to handle the water on your own, which is, you've got time to do that right now. Everybody should always have at least like 5 or 6 gallons of water somewhere in their house, right? Absolutely. To get you through a few days at least. But we will, or at least Wise will supply the food for you. I'm going to come back over here where Eddie is getting a shot of all the food that you get. Look at everything that's displayed here, and I'll move up front if that's okay, and I'll show you some of the things. So here's your breakfast cereals, creamy pasta. Look at the baked potato casserole. This is the cheesy mac, stroganoff, Alfredo, teriyaki rice. Look at the soups in the back. There's Southwest beans. In the back here, there's, if you need beverages to mix with your water, we've got milk, and we've got the Orange Delight, which is really good. There's rice back here. Don't forget you're getting some veggies. You're getting powdered eggs. You get all this, and then what we do is we put it in this bucket. And you're thinking, okay, Guy, how long is this gonna last? Because let's say, you know, I don't use it for 5 years. You keep it in a cool, dry place, right? That's all. That's all you gotta do. So put it in a closet somewhere, and this bucket will last you up to 25 years, all right? It's amazing. That's the technology that they use when they pack this stuff up, cryovac, sealvac, whatever they do to it. It's amazing, and they lock in the flavors. Everything in here is easy. And by the way, when you take it and you turn it around, right here on the back, cooking directions. You can use it hot or cold. Bring 4 cups of water to a boil, add the contents, turn on the heat, or turn off the heat, let it sit for 15 minutes, uncover, and then let it cool a little bit before you eat it. It's so simple. I said before, if you can get yourself a little gas canister camp stove, just as part of your prep kit, it's not a bad idea. I have one of those. In fact, I use it anyway. I use it outside when I just want to use my barbecue and I want to heat a side dish like barbecue sauce. I use it. So yeah, and that's a good way to make sure that you got gas because you remind yourself to keep getting it. But because personally, I think all this food is 100 times better when it's hot. It's just more comforting. No big deal if you can't. When you're starving, you'll eat whatever is put in front of you. This stuff is delicious, even when it's cold. So listen, we have some testimonials we want to listen to. We're going to talk about the whole thing, but it's just that little ounce of prevention, right? Just making sure that we're ready, we're okay, we're good. As I said before, it's the smart people that prepare for that. They really do, because they know we may get stuck. So take a listen to some of this. We come back, we'll talk more about what you get.
I mean, I don't have to add any other vegetables, any other seasonings. It's all in there. It's really easy.
You know, that part of your life is not going to be in some kind of upheaval. It's pretty much what Mom would put on the table.
One of the coolest things about having an emergency plan is being able to check off how you're going to get your water and how you're going to get your food. Because those two staples, once you've kind of put those in the back of your mind, right, and you know that those are already taken care of, then it leaves you a lot more bandwidth to focus on what else might be happening.
Because there's the thing, if you are breaking into emergency food, there's probably something going on in your world, you know? So
Probably.
there's other stuff you're gonna have to worry about,
This
you know?
rice.
Yeah, didn't that turn out nice and fluffy?
Oh, it's
if you're worrying
perfect.
about keeping the kids safe, if you're worrying about securing your property, this is just something you don't have to worry about, which is so, so important. There's not a lot we can do ahead of time in emergency situations. You know, that you can only prepare so much for the unknown. But one thing is known, you are going to have to eat. So no matter what, you bring this into your home, you know you're gonna have great tasting rice pilaf, which, oh, by the way, I barely have even stirred. I threw water in there,
You did
and
a good
look
job.
how fluffy it came out.
it's really good.
I can't make regular rice on the stove that turns out that fluffy.
I don't either.
I'm gummy and it's not good at it.
Some of the best rice I've ever had.
And honestly, same thing here. This is the teriyaki rice. All I did was add water. Now, I know Guy was talking about how it definitely tastes better warm, but in an emergency situation, you would add water to this pan or to a bowl or to whatever. You would add your Wise teriyaki rice, and this is what it turns out like. Every single time. No heat, no cooking. This is true emergency food. And I can see the peppers and I can see the spices.
I love the taste.
You know,
Got a sweet little, that sweet
there's my
Asian flavor.
carrots. It's got a little tang to it.
Really
but
good.
guess what? It's supposed to have a tang to it. It's called teriyaki rice. We don't sell the bland, powdered, nasty tasting chalky food. This is food that tastes exactly like it. This chicken tortilla soup's got a little kick. Guess what? You'd expect that. It is a Southwestern style food.
You know, when you think about it, I mean, if you could take care of your family for a week, and I told you, our case is a power shortage, and you're stuck in your house, you can't go anywhere, and I said to you, and let's say it was happening, and I came up to you and I said, tell you what, I'll take care of your family for a week, give me $200. You would probably do that in the blink of an eye.
Without thinking.
To take care of your family, right? You'd say $200 if it's a family of 4. I mean, come on, what are you kidding me? That's costing me $15 a day or whatever it is, right? Or $20, $25 a day, however it turns out. But here's the thing. This is only $89.95, and it's all there for you, and it's ready when you need it. You don't have to go and find it. Like, you know, when the emergency, that's the worst thing is like, okay, what was it last year when we all had to get out of here for our hurricane? How hard was it to find gas?
Impossible.
I went everywhere, and I found online one place, and there was a line it was crazy, and that was just to get gas so we could get out of here. Grocery stores, they were all closed.
Right. Or
Everybody
empty.
took off,
They were empty.
gone. Yeah, or they were empty.
They were empty.
But then they kick you out, and it's like, and let me tell you, we were lucky enough that HSN sent us to a wonderful hotel up in Orlando, where the hurricane hit. We didn't know it was going to do that, but even in the hotel, limited food.
Right.
Very limited. We've got 2 sittings a day. They were wonderful, but it's because that's what happens in an emergency.
Because there's too many people. Everybody's in the same situation.
Yes.
This is the thing. We have wonderful, wonderful resources here in this country. The Red Cross is working overtime right now in the Carolinas. But the thing is, there's too many people, and it happens every single time. Don't use that as the primary source of how you know your family's going to be okay. If you bring this into your home, you know your family will eat. You may be able to help your extended family. If you evacuate to a hotel, you aren't worried about being in a cattle call for meals and there not being enough. If you evacuate to someone else's home, you're not being a burden. You have the food with you. When anything happens, you're still going to have to eat. We have home insurance to try to get us back on our feet for our homes. We have medical insurance for the just in case something happens to our health. You have car insurance, and I pay more for that a month than I can even handle. And
you don't want to hear
99%.
You don't want to hear about what I just heard about my 16-year-old son.
I was going to say, you have a teenage boy.
Yeah, $6,000 a year.
Yeah, I believe
Florida. For car insurance
I believe it. So that's the thing, though. We have to pay all those bills, and some of them are really totally annoying. This is food insurance. This is food insurance. It doesn't cost anything like those horrible other prices, and it's one time for 25 years.
Yeah, and it's $17.99 to get it home.
And there's chocolate.
Get it home. You can pay it off over 5 months. That's what FlexPay is. And by the way, it's also free shipping and handling. This thing weighs a lot, okay, because it's full of food. It's not free to ship. We will pay the shipping for you. We have to actually pay that because we don't own the trucks that deliver that stuff. So whether it's breakfast, whether it's lunch, whether it's dinner, whether it's snacks, whether it's beverages, whether it's chocolate pudding,
this stuff is amazing.
It's like chocolate mousse.
Isn't that amazing? It tastes like Grandma cooked it slow, the old-fashioned style, separate the eggs like we don't do anymore.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm not suffering.
No, you're not.
I am not suffering eating this food. This is all really good and delicious stuff. So let's put up on our screen again what you're getting.
Absolutely.
And we'll have Stephanie go through that one more time because it's 160 servings. That is enough for a family of 4 for about a week. If you're by yourself, you can do the math. Or let's say you're a couple. That's 2 weeks of food if you're a couple.
Yes, 2 people, 2 weeks.
Right. If you're 4 people, obviously, that is a full week. But let's go through. So if you love pasta, for instance.
Okay, so there's 10 different lunch and dinner style entrees. Creamy pasta with vegetable rotini, savory stroganoff, also cheesy mac, hearty tortilla soup, pasta Alfredo, chicken noodle soup. These are, again, kind of those main dinner lunch style entrees. Also, Southwest rice and beans, teriyaki rice, loaded baked potato, rice pilaf. So there's your 10, right? Those are kind of the things that you'd serve for lunch and dinner. It'd be like it'd be on any other menu. Now, we've got vegetables in here. Freeze-dried corn. Eat it dry, rehydrate it with water, turn it into a side dish, whatever you want to do. Sometimes I throw it into the other entrees. Powdered eggs, an amazing source of protein. Love that for the very first time we are including powdered eggs in here so that you can have that option with you. And then, of course, fruit. There's freeze-dried strawberries, the chocolate pudding, and yogurt. Because guess what? If we're going to be doing this for a week, let's have a little dessert.
Let's
try to
enjoy
make
it.
this pleasant.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's no sense in suffering if you don't have to when it comes time to food. Also, the maple and brown sugar, the orange drink, and the whey milk. I want to point out how important I think the pictures of whey milk are too. I mean, obviously, as parents, we know that milk is just crucial for kids for health and nutrition, but it's so much more than that for young children. Think back to the sippy cup, the bedtime stories. You know, it's like the power's out. Your kids know things are up. You can't get out of the house, or you can't get back to your house, or whatever the situation is. There's fear, there's discomfort. This is how you keep the comfort factor. Wise is about keeping us comfortable.
Totally is.
Keeping the stress down, taking one thing off the list of worries.
And not just surviving, but thriving.
Exactly.
I mean, it's fun to drink water, but if you can have milk, it makes a whole difference.
It's fine to eat peanut butter and crackers, but not for a week when you can have
this milk is way better.
Teriyaki rice. It is way better.
You like that?
Very nice.
Way better. All right, so here's what I'll tell you. Take advantage of this, all right? We are almost out of time on it. It's $89.95. And again, you're going to get all the health and nutrition, as we said before. And I keep saying, you know, it's the smart thing to do. If you never have to use it, you never do, but you will use it. And you'll sleep better at night knowing, okay, I made the right choice. Now think about it in life. Where would we be without redundant systems, without backup systems?
Right.
Would you ever get on
Gotta have a plan.
Would you get on a jet plane that had one engine? I wouldn't. No thanks. You know, or backups to that.
Right.
Or hand brakes instead of, you know, you wouldn't do that. This is a system that backs you up and to make sure that you're taken care of. Hey, by the way, are we doing free shipping? Now's the time to stock up on food on HSN. Doing free shipping on all food, and you know what? Food is some of the most expensive things to ship because more often than not, it needs refrigeration. So it just doesn't get boxed and has to be packed in ice and all the rest of that stuff. So if you love food, burgers, dogs, anything, the Wise Kit, get it now and get it with free shipping and handling. All right, we're gonna go back to what we were talking about before. We briefly mentioned that in addition to all these wonderful meals that you can make, you have the option of jazzing them up a little bit, spicing them up, or maybe nutritioning them up a little bit.
Exactly.
By adding a variety of different extras. We have 3 configurations that we're offering here. Stephanie will go through them in more detail in a sec, but this is the fruit extras. So you're gonna get strawberries. These are pears.
Peaches and apples.
And apple. These are apples. Okay, so, and bananas. So you get a whole boatload of these right up here, and you see all that stuff, and they're all wonderful fruits. We have our proteins, which is the beef and the chicken.
Yep,
right?
Different flavors.
Different
There's a teriyaki beef, a plain beef, a spicy chicken.
So you get all those, and then finally at the end we're doing vegetables, which is broccoli, peas, you get the corn, and you get the green beans. Those are all dehydrated. You add those to any of the existing meals that we're already giving, or any of the soups, stir fries, the macs and cheese, whatever. And now you've upped the ante a little bit, not only creating more flavor, but more food for your family too.
Exactly. I want to point out with the protein, since this is where I'm standing right now, look at the quality of this meat. I mean, this is just great looking, nice chicken. And
it's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous white chicken breast. This comes in those Wise packages with the technology so you can use it for emergency. I mean, honestly, if I'm eating crackers and peanut butter and tuna for a week, I would do anything for some protein. You know, it's just what we are used to eating and how it makes us feel. So if meat and protein are an important part of your family's diet, this is a way to always have the beef and the chicken in various flavors. Plus, it comes with rice in this kit so that you can either expand upon any of the meals that you may have purchased with the 160 servings, or honestly, in an emergency, or if you're camping and hiking and just take the bare basics with you. Yeah. This is a meal. It's got some protein, it's got some grain, it's gonna fill you up, it's gonna make you happy.
And if you've never tried any of the Wise stuff before and you said to yourself, I'd like to try it first,
it's a good place to
try
start.
one of these kits. And I will tell you, please do not go without trying the fruits. Those things are absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, protein's gonna be good, but you're gonna wanna add it to stuff. You do get rice that comes along with that, and then maybe the veggies. So maybe do, maybe try one or two of either, but I'm telling you, you're gonna absolutely flip out when you have them. These are on FlexPay. $9.99. They're under $50 to get them home, and you really have a lot. I mean, if you look, you get a lot of food here. And they're also free shipping because we're doing free shipping on food. So take advantage of that. Auto ship is also available on these. And let me tell you something. I've had camping food. This is not like your ordinary camping food. This stuff is so, I mean, let's put it this way. If any of this was sold like retail in a market of these fruits, I would buy these in a second.
Absolutely.
They're better quality than anything I've seen. Even in the natural food stores, you go in there and you go to the natural food stores and you get dehydrated strawberries, they don't look like that. And they almost get like a gritty, dark thing to them. These are beautiful. Look at the bananas. You see, I mean, look at that. Looks like a dehydrated sliced banana, right? And look at how big they are. They're not all shriveled up and beat up. And the flavors and the sweetness is there. You're gonna love those. $49.95, and you get a ton of it too.
Yeah, I know for our recreational users, the hiking, the camping, the boating, people love to be able to take the fruits and the vegetables along with them. I mean, there's really no other way to get great fruits and vegetables recreationally, because we're not hauling them usually in our backpacks. So that's where the fruits come with popularity. The fruits also come with the vanilla pudding, which not as exciting as our chocolate. By the way, that chocolate pudding that is in our 160 kit, exclusive to HSN.
So good.
So I think one of the hosts demanded that they had to have chocolate for their emergency.
Let me just tell you something. If you had that in a restaurant and somebody put like some whipped cream on top of it, you'd never know it wasn't like some gourmet.
Well, because of your restaurant background, we talk a lot about that. You said the same thing about some of the soups. Someone served that to you as a first course in a restaurant. You'd never, ever know. And that's the quality of food. Look at those vegetables.
That chicken
Look
soup,
at the color.
if I had a cup of that in a restaurant, I'd be like, this is really good. Really
nice,
good chicken
nice
soup.
Chicken
it really
soup.
is.
Right.
It tastes like chicken soup.
Right.
And it's really, really good. You would never know. So that's why we say you don't sacrifice when you eat this. You don't just survive, you thrive. And that's the key. And if you've watched any of the survival shows, and you see when the groups get to that point where they're actually thriving, not just surviving,
right.
That's when they're smiling, that's when they're happy, that's when it's like all of a sudden you're like, okay, it sucks outside and our environment is bad, but we're good inside.
But things are perfectly fine here. And that's what Wise is all about, to help your world be as good as possible when everything else is going crazy around you. We can't change the natural disasters. No. We can't change the situations that happen in life.
Change the weather.
Sadly, we all know it's going to happen to all of us at some point, but you can change how your family reacts to it and make sure that everything is fine.
And in a pinch, you got nothing to feed the kids? Open up a bag of this stuff. Feed them. Feed them that mac and cheese, or feed them some of that soup or whatever.
Good value for fruit too. Think about it. In the middle of winter, when stuff's not in season,
they're gonna love it.
Better fruit than you can get.
This is 086125, and it's your choice of food kits. So just remember, either go the putting in the fruits, or go the proteins, or go the veggies. They're all great, and they're $49.95 each, and you get a whole bunch of the stuff to go along with it. So we're gonna move along. We have about 15 minutes left in the show. Not even. Man, this went by fast. So let's talk about other stuff you can get in your kit. Are we gonna go where are we gonna go, the eggs? Or are we going? Oh, thank you, Jared, for telling me that. So, by the way, our today's special, actually I shouldn't say, this is our today's food special that we're doing. Our concerts collection is our other today's special, but this is our special in this hour. Why do I call it that? Because it's $60 off for the same kit that we offered at $149. So it's the time to steal it. A lot of people are like, well, maybe we're doing that because it's late in the hurricane season. Yeah, but it's not late in the snow season. That hasn't even happened yet, right? The worst is coming.
Yep.
So if you want to take advantage of this, it's huge. You get a boatload of food. Look at all the servings. 4 servings of the beans and rice, 8 for the teriyaki and rice. We've got the loaded baked potato. We give you eggs. We give you the freeze-dried veggies. The rice serves 16 people. All that. Look at all the rest of this, and you can read it up there. We give you desserts, we give you breakfast, more fruit, that chocolate pudding, which is exclusive, all that great stuff. So, Now I will move to the powdered eggs, which I will tell you, these you're gonna have a hard time keeping around because people absolutely love them. They love the convenience of them. They love the fact that they don't have to store them inside a refrigerator.
Right.
And then they also love the fact that the preparation is very, very simple. What you've got is 144 servings for $139.95. This sells out every time we bring it in. We don't have a lot of them to go around. It is also free shipping, and it's $27.99. You're gonna get 6 11-ounce pouches of the powdered eggs. You get the storage bucket to go along with it. You see how they come. They come in the bags. And as Stephanie said, these are resealable bags. All this obviously made at the Wise factory right here in the USA. And each one of those pouches makes, I think, about 24 servings.
Yep, exactly. There's basically 2 dozen eggs in a pouch. Now, here's what I've learned about powdered eggs. They are the most useful thing in the world to have around.
Yeah.
I'm constantly out of something at my house. So speaking in a total non-emergency manner, you want to go make brownies, you go to the fridge and there's no eggs.
Right.
Guess what? When you have one of these here, you take out 2 tablespoons of powdered eggs, which would equal 2 eggs, and you make brownies, or you make quick bread, or whatever. So to just have these is incredibly useful. Now, I like the fact that they're resealable too, because once I open the pouch, I can simply seal it back up and keep them in my pantry. Now, in terms of hiking and camping and all of that, you aren't carrying eggs up and down the mountain. So this is what the campers use, and they can talk about certainly how convenient and the quality is there. So essentially 2 dozen eggs in 6 different resealable pouches. I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with powdered eggs. I know I've eaten them at hotels.
I've eaten them too. I don't think I've ever seen them made. I'm going to watch this for the first time with you.
This is what you did.
I'm excited.
It's a fun concept.
So you mix them with water.
There's the deal. You know, it's about a 1-to-1 ratio, and that is clearly outlined for you on the pouch.
This is so cool.
Well, and I'm going to scramble it up, add some cheese, and it's going to look. Here, do me a favor, stick a little oil in that pan
give you
for
a
me,
little bit of.
just in case see how nonstick I am. This is it. So you know, you whip it together. Looks pretty much like if I was whipping any other kind of egg together, right? I mean,
exactly right.
The concept is exactly the same, and the end result is awesome. It's a little bit thicker looking, but
it'll scramble up.
In about 2
it'll
minutes,
look like eggs.
you're not going to know the difference.
And it'll taste, well, what it is,
it tastes just like egg. It is egg.
The yolk and the white, it's all powdered. It's all dehydrated. And all you're doing is adding liquid back. You're adding a little bit of the moisture back.
Exactly.
Look what you're doing.
And we're going to dress it up a little bit. Sure. Of course we are. So the concept of why these are so important.
Cheese in there.
Okay. The concept of why these are so important is obviously just because of the health benefits of eggs. Eggs are a perfect protein, right?
Look, so it's scrambled like eggs.
If we can have an ability to have a healthy, great tasting protein
Turn it up a little for
around, thank you, no matter what, it just, to not have this as part of an emergency thing, again, you're feeding teenage boy, I've got teenage boys, we aren't gonna last very long in my world without some protein to keep them full, to keep them going, and I think this is just such a great thing to have around. But I'm completely turned on about the fact that I can easily make, you know, make quick breads, easily make brownies.
Eggs, man.
You like that?
I'm very impressed with that.
Want to go camping with me?
Yeah, let's go. I mean,
but that's the thing, perfect for camping, perfect for, you know, I know everybody's been tailgating for those early football games lately, you know, bring out your little burner, stick them on the grill, and off you go. You know, it's just an easy way to have great tasting food. I love it.
I'd try it, but nobody gave me a fork.
We could find you a fork over there.
All right, well, I'll try, because I really am curious as to how that, I may go in with my finger, I don't really care. But anyway, let me tell you, well, you don't think I will. You know I will out there. You guys who watch him, like, he'll go right, he'll eat out of it like a trough if he has to. This is $27.99, and remember, you are getting, how many servings is it again?
144.
So basically like less than $1 a serving.
For eggs.
If my math is
fresh,
really
good eggs.
I got no fork.
And she's
I'm dying to try it. Here, let me see the spatula.
All right, you're going to use the spatula.
All right, hold on. Let me get a little on here.
And you know my usual question, would you ever know? Would you know how I did it? Peppers smell good.
Tastes like eggs.
I know. They're light and fluffy. It's actually really awesome.
They're really good.
They're really fluffy. That's what I noticed.
I got a little of that pepper in there. I have to try one more. Yeah, man, that's really good.
So obviously there's the nutrition, obviously there's the convenience, but remember, you put it in your pantry, you've got it for baking, you put
I
one...
put that on a bagel and I gave it to Danny, he'd be like,
He wouldn't...
"You're really good, you're cheesy, I like
thanks
that."
for feeding me.
He wouldn't care at all.
Exactly.
He'd
but
love
keep
it.
one in an emergency kit. Again, always good to have that protein source. And the eggs aren't coming to the store if the roads are closed, as we know all
What else
too
you
well.
got? What other dehydrated stuff?
You like this? It's kind of a game.
I'm switching to dehydrated food. Look at everything you get here. And remember, you'll never run out of eggs. So even if, and you can use them in recipes.
Absolutely.
You're making brownies, you're making breads, you need eggs. It's always nice to have them. So all this available, $139. Hey, what's in, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Stephanie, what's in the booster pack?
Okay, so the booster pack is kind of like the nuts and bolts, the basics, you know. If
Restock my can.
Exactly. Restock
My bucket.
whatever you need. There's different types of rice. There's beans. It's more, I'd say, bean, rice, and calorie driven than recipe driven. You know, so if your intent is just to get the carbs and the protein in your home so that you have something, it is there for you. 118 servings, very much used by our campers and our hikers and our people who just spend a lot of time outside. But again, not as, I would say, not as refined as teriyaki rice and Southwest rice and
Dang
beans,
good.
but
All right.
Good to have.
Last item in the hour.
And maybe the most important.
And of course, we've been talking, excuse me, we've been talking a lot about food and stuff like that and having enough nutrition. But it's very important, obviously, to drink water. I mean, you know, you can go without food for X amount of time, but you can't go out without water for very long. You can go without food a lot longer than water.
Right.
What is it? I think it's 3 days without. Is it 3 days without water?
You have to have 3 days
3
of
weeks
water,
without
for sure.
food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes without air. I think that's how it works as you go down the scale. So water outside of air is the next most important thing. And you may not have taken the steps to plan ahead and put some water aside. So maybe the only water that you can get your hands on is water that's not what we would call really super clean. We got to wait for you to be able to clean it.
Absolutely. And the thing happens too that even if, for instance, you know, you're stuck in your home or you've evacuated, you're not sure of the water source. Anytime there's big storms, you always get those crawls on the bottom of your screen about boil water advisories. That just means that we're not positive the municipal water source is clean. Okay, that's a concern if you can't boil the water. So this is a portable water filtration bottle by Seychelles. And Wise it wants us to include this in all of our preparedness kits. So here's the actual filter, and boy, does this little guy rock. It takes out 99.9% of everything that's bad in water. I'm talking the big things, lead, chlorine. I mean, the things that, the odor, the taste, the smell, but the things that make you sick get filtered out by this filter. This will filter 100 gallons of water. So here's the thing with water. I have a family of 6 right now. I've got 4 boys at home with me. That's a lot of water to store. I've got some, I'll be honest, I don't have enough. But because I have this, actually I have one for everybody, I'm a lot less worried about not having all that water stored because I can filter the water. So when it comes to Wise food, you know, we need safe drinking water to make the food. This is how you get that done if you're worried about the quality of your water. Now, Guy, I need you to help me show you something here. All right, so here's the bottle, right? And it isn't a gray bottle. That is mud. I put potting soil in it and just made something kind of disgusting because it's fun and I knew you'd like this.
Are you going to make me drink mud?
No, I'm going to drink it. How about that?
All right,
just to prove
that's
it.
cool. That'd be great.
Okay,
That'd be awesome.
Here, hold this.
Okay.
This is essentially what the filter is doing.
Can you get close on this, Mike? Because I want you to see what's inside there.
Okay.
So you can see that it's really dark.
You see that? That's gross.
Yeah. Even the top is kind of, all right, so watch what happens.
Okay, so there's the filter, right? I mean, that, and it's obviously easier when you suck it out and drink it versus squeeze, but here I am filtering the water. Now look at the difference. Potting soil nasty, crystal clear water here.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
Here, hold on. Here, I'll do this for you. Here you go. Same bottle. There, you want to drink that instead?
Oh, Lord.
There you go.
All right. And for my final
Same water.
So this is what it's doing. It's taking out the particles. I mean, there are chunks of peat in there. This is gross. This is now what we call...
Chunks of peat?
This is now the peat moss. You know, it's potting soil.
Oh, okay.
This is now what we call potable water, and I'll drink it.
Oh, Lord. Here she goes.
Smell it.
Smells like nothing.
Smells like water's supposed to smell. So the point of the matter is when you have this in your home, your water's safe to drink, you can make the wise
And maybe
spoon.
later I'll have her come out on my show to make sure you know she's still okay.
Okay.
But she will be fine.
I
It'll be
will be
great.
just fine.
Great job.
Good to see
As
you.
always, you too. Hey, and plan ahead, guys. It's a smart thing to do for you and your family. That's what this whole hour has been. We've got an hour of Concierge Collection, and I'm telling you, the best deal on towels you'll ever find anywhere. So stick around.
The Sheryl Crow collection. It's everything that I love. It's very vintage inspired. Great jeans, incredible boots. It has a rock and roll twist. One of the things I love about it is that I'm able to empower women with some of my lyrics inside the clothing. Statements that are in my music that still, when I sing them, empower me. The Sheryl Crow woman is the woman that takes on life and says, I can do anything that I want to do and still be feminine.
The thing I love most about shopping at HSN.
Do I have to pick just one?
I'd have to say FlexPay.
It allows me to get the things I want now
And make monthly payments.
Without any interest or fees.
I got a new mattress for the guest bedroom.
A fabulous cookware set for my sister's wedding.
and a little something just for me.
FlexPay gives me the flexibility to buy what I need now.
Without the stress of having to pay for it all at once.
And no interest.
Beat that layaway.
I grew up always dreaming and wanting to create things. I see something and I see that we can make it better. One day, the light bulb just went off. Nobody has this. They're waiting for me to invent it.
Next thing you know, you're on HSN and the whole world's hearing about it.
It just sold out.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
HSN celebrates the dreamers, inventors, and entrepreneurs who follow their hearts, helping American dreams come true.